Hey, it's Arash from National Transmission, and today we're going to be talking about Dodge transmissions, particularly the Caravan, Dodge Journey, and ProMaster 1500, 2500, 3500 series transmissions. And I'll tell you, if there's one thing Dodge has been consistent with, it's giving us transmission problems in this industry. They've been the bread and butter of our industry for a long time. Hey, just my opinion on this, but we love them in this industry, and today we're going to cover some of the known failures that we're seeing on these transmissions. So behind me we have the 62TE. Now, Dodge lacking creativity or recycling ideas, this is a 6-speed version of their earlier transmission, the 42TE, or known as the 604. The center section is virtually the same as the 4-speed, but on the transfer side, we have added a compounder section, which enables this thing to have 6 gears. We're finding the majority of failures on the 62TE found in the compounder section, and that's what I'm going to outline in this video today. For the video's purposes, I wasn't able to find an earlier generation compounder, but I can still explain the issue that we found on those. In the earlier ones, we're talking 2012 era compounders. Right here, we had our 2 sealing rings. They were able to spin inside there, and what this did was cause an excessive amount of wear in the compounder section, causing pressure leaks. Now, in the later generation compounder, they fixed this problem by adding these 2 guys right here. You'll see where the rings are able to lock in and prevent them from spinning. Now, this is found on every late generation compounder that we install. However, being a Dodge, they still seem to fail. They still miss the mark. So when they fail really bad, what we can see here between the 2 is when the pressure dumps and we get symptoms such as harsh shifts, harsh engagements, where it's really clunking hard, it can blow the snap ring right off the top of this. And we can see this here, what the difference of these 2 actually is. Hopefully, all the failure happens is it stays pretty centralized in there. Dodge does sell an updated rebuild kit, which comes with the updated compounder. We're finding these new compounders are lasting longer than the original design. Although Dodge does not release the technical specifications of what they change in them, our long-term field tests are showing that the part is holding up better than the original design. So this is proving to be a reliable fix. Now let's talk about what the corresponding damage could be and what we're seeing mostly on the ProMaster side of things, but it does happen in some of the Dodge Journeys and Dodge Caravans. Now, when that compounder fails, flip this case up here. It sits in this section here. So this compounder, this guy, like so. Now I'm not going to drop that down all the way into there, but when the top of that blows off, it damages the supporting surface, or it's able to walk in this area. Now, if this part gets overlooked and the case gets reused, even after rebuild, we can still have clunky shifts. And as I mentioned, it mostly happens on the Caravans that have failed more severely. One thing I did want to talk about and spend a little bit of time is specifically on the ProMaster side of things. That's a hugely popular van for the service industries. We have a lot of fleet companies that we work with where we're getting a lot of experience with these hands-on. Now, I've outlined some of the failures on the transmission side of things. Now let's talk about the things outside of the transmission that get overlooked quite often. We are finding, especially on the 2014, the earlier generation ProMasters, the mounts on these things are failing at an alarming rate. So in my hand, I have the lower transmission mount. You can see here that it's splitting. Now, they sell a whole new mount kit online. I don't really trust these personally. Dodge has changed several of the mount designs. However, they are very expensive, but recommended, because the resulting damage, as we've seen, is these transmissions are actually falling out of the vehicle. This kit is sold by Dodge, is the mounting bracket for the transmission. This guy bolts right there and holds the transmission into the vehicle. These bolts are actually single use and is sold with a complete set. Reusing these bolts on a ProMaster could have catastrophic results. The bolts actually shear off and allow that transmission to fall out of the vehicle. So if you own one of these vehicles, you might be experiencing a whining when you first start your transmission up. It's going to be really audible, particularly when it's cold. You might get symptoms such as delayed engagement, hard shifting, clunking shifting. So you want to get this looked at sooner than later. So in this video, we've covered some of the more common problems we see on the ProMaster, the Caravan, and Dodge Journey. So covering the bolt shearing off, the bracket itself. Here are the failures that we're seeing in the case and in the compounder. Now, we get a lot of calls and comments from our, local to our friends down in the United States. Now, if you found this video helpful, give us a like, subscribe, and thanks for tuning into our video.